In many tropical areas around the world, people enjoy soursop leaf tea and eat soursop fruit as part of daily living.
But if you search the internet today, you'll find a wave of alarming headlines claiming that soursop is dangerous, that a chemical it contains can act as a neurotoxin and is linked to Parkinson's disease-like symptoms. The more serious claims come from a single line of research that's often repeated without context. So let's take a closer look at what the researchers actually did, what they measured, and what they concluded. Before we get to the more serious claims about the danger of soursop, let's address one of the most common, the idea that it can interact with medications. This concern comes from a simple scientific reality. The same plant compounds in soursop that show promising effects in research studies can act on the same pathways as certain drugs. In animal and human studies, soursop leaf extracts have shown blood pressure lowering and blood sugar lowering activity. So if someone is already taking medication that lowers blood pressure or blood sugar, the effects can stack. That's not the fruit being dangerous. That's just two things pushing in the same direction. It's the same principle behind grapefruit interacting with statins or leafy greens interacting with warfarin. The interaction risk isn't about soursop being harmful. It's about understanding how natural compounds and medications can overlap. As a rule of thumb, it's always good to consult your physician if you are thinking about using herbal supplements while on prescription medications. The origins of the danger of soursop can be traced back to the late 1990s, when doctors on the Caribbean island of Guadeloupe noticed something unusual. They found that a number of older adults were developing movement problems that looked like Parkinson's, but didn't behave like the classic form of the disease. These patients had stiffness, tremors, balance issues, sleep problems, and memory changes, and they didn't respond well to standard Parkinson's medications. When doctors looked deeper, they found changes in the brain that matched these symptoms. Epidemiological studies revealed that many of the patients reported regularly consuming soursop products, including fruit and herbal teas. This led researchers to study annonacin, a natural chemical found in soursop. In lab studies, very high amounts of purified annonacin can damage brain cells that help control movement. When rats were used to study the effects of long-term exposure to purified annonacin, scientists found that the chemical produced brain changes similar to what doctors were seeing in the unusual cases on Guadeloupe. More recent research, even as late as 2025, showed that annonacin can also affect proteins in the brain that are involved in degenerative diseases. And there is suggestion that persons with Parkinson's disease-like symptoms might get more severe disease with continued use of soursop products. Based on all of this, the researchers concluded that annonacin may play a role in the unusual Parkinson's-like condition seen in Guadeloupe, but they did not claim that soursop products directly cause the disease. Here are the key takeaways from our review of the evidence. The studies linking soursop consumption to neurological problems did not prove that drinking the tea or eating the fruit causes Parkinson's-like symptoms. The animal experiments showed that purified annonacin can cause neurologic damage, but only when delivered in extremely high doses. To reach the same level of exposure used in those experiments, a person would have to drink a can of soursop nectar or eat a whole fruit every day for an entire year, far more than how people normally consume soursop. In short, the research shows what can happen under extreme laboratory conditions or at levels of consumption far beyond real-world habits. Even in the French islands where doctors first noticed a cluster of severe, atypical Parkinsonism, health authorities never concluded that soursop products were unsafe for the general population, only that people with an existing degenerative condition should be aware of a possible risk.
In conclusion, for most people, you can enjoy your fruit, your nectar, and your tea in moderation.